So, during my recent trip to Canada, I was actually on board a Royal Caribbean cruise. It was a 5-day trip, stopped in St. John's, New Brunswick, and Halifax, Nova Scotia. And this was aboard the Oasis of the Seas, which at one point was the largest cruise ship in the entire world. Since then, there have been about 15-20 different ships that have surpassed this in size. Seems like literally every single year there's a new cruise ship that takes the title of world's largest ship, and they're just trying to compete to have larger ships. But Oasis of the Seas is still a world-class ship. So there are so many different reasons that make it this. First off, I want to talk about Central Park. So Central Park is on deck 8, and even though that's about 6 decks below the top, it has an opening where you can see to the sky. You have the sun coming down on you. You have real plants that go around you, and it feels like you're not on an actual cruise. It feels like you are on like literally just a park, and it is so cool. And there are bars there, there's restaurants, specialty dining around the park. And the best part is, if you get a suite, which we did, you don't even have to change decks. You walk right out of your room, you walk a little bit, and boom, you are in Central Park. So more parts of the ship is the Grand Atrium. This is where you will find your restaurants like Sorrento's. This is where you will find the different cafes. This is where a lot of the activities will be going on. It is the premier hangout spot. I was there at 1 a.m. and it was going wild. Another part of the ship is you want to look at the solarium. If you are 18 or above, this is an adult-only section of the cruise ship. It has the glass, so the sun rays are coming right on you, and it's a great spot to get a tan in. Now, also on the Oasis of the Seas, we have to talk food, because if you are going on a cruise, yeah, you are going to get some magnificent food. So, first off is the Coastal Kitchen. That is where we had dinner every single night. The Coastal Kitchen is a suite-only restaurant. You have to have a suite to be able to eat there. So if you are staying in a suite, definitely I would recommend eating at the Coastal Kitchen versus the main dining room, just because, you know, very similar food options to the main dining room, but much more like quaint. It's a much smaller room. You're at the very top instead of the main dining room. You're on deck 3, 4, and 5, so you get a much better view of the ocean, or if you are still at port, being able to see the sights of the port. Another spot, the Boardwalk Dog House. This is where you can get a hot dog, you can get a chicken sausage, a bratwurst, a veggie sausage. You can top it off with all these different sauces: hot sauce, mustard, ketchup, barbecue sauce, sauerkraut, relish. It's like just a hot dog stand. It was so good. I would recommend this chicken and apple sausage. Oh my god, that hit. Another place, Sorrento's. Sorrento's is where you can get the pizza upwards until 2 a.m. It really is remarkable because there are so many people. The line at Sorrento's is always so long, but the reason it's remarkable is because they're just dishing out pizzas left and right so quickly that it looks like there's 40 people in line, but boom, just like that, in 4 minutes, you got your pizza. Another staple of Oasis of the Seas is El Loco Fresh. El Loco Fresh is the Mexican kind of like, not really bar, but this Mexican stand that is on the restaurant. And you know, to be frank, I was not a fan of it. I thought the food was okay. The food was a little bit dry. I only ate there once. It was my first meal on the ship, actually. I had lunch there, and yeah, it really wasn't impressive. They have the same options every day. You could get like a chicken taco, you could get chips and salsa. Nothing I thought too special. Other restaurants though, which some people are a big fan of specialty dining. I'm not a fan of specialty dining, but if you are, I would recommend Playmakers. Playmakers is the sports bar and grill. Their wings looked incredible, and you can be on the ship and watching your favorite team's sports games. There is Izumi, which is an Asian Japanese restaurant, so if you're in the mood for sushi, hit up that. And then here is a very expensive restaurant, 150 Central Park. This is where you'll get your fine dining, your nice steak meal. It's not steak like the main dining room steak. This is kind of like that top tier sirloin, but yeah, you're gonna pay a little bit extra for it. Some people think it's worth it. And then you have the casino. The casino is very chaotic with your poker, with your blackjack, with your slot machines, and everybody goes to a casino. I wasn't in the casino. I don't even think I'm old enough to be in the Royal Caribbean Casino, but I would never place a real dollar down, especially on a cruise ship, because you are in international waters. So at least when you go to a casino in the United States or whatever country you're in, there are regulations against the casino that they can't rig it. When you're in international waters, there is no governing body who is overseeing all of this. So Royal Caribbean and really any cruise line will rig it as much as they can in their favor. So I would not recommend the casino, but some people love it. Oasis of the Seas, I thought, was a fun ship. I would probably, I've only been on 3 ships in my life. I've only been on 3 cruises. Carnival Fascinations, which no longer exists. That was actually my favorite cruise. I was on the Norwegian Gem and Oasis of the Seas, so it's hard to compare all 3 of them. But Oasis of the Seas is a massive ship. They got a bunch of fun stuff. And another thing is they have this really cool slide that takes you from deck 11 all the way down to, it's like deck 6. It's a fun slide. And there's also other stuff like comedy shows, Aqua 80, which is their water show that I recommend you to check out as well. But yeah, if you guys like travel content, make sure to subscribe. And you want to see my most recent video? Click right here where my hand is. Also, let me know, have you been on Royal Caribbean? What do you think of it?